Welcome back. Remember Jahai McMath? We are watching this Facebook page for her. Keep Jahai McMath on life support. It got more than 27,000 likes so far. People, as you may know, from all around the world are pulling for this young girl to recover. I want to look back now at her story. Here it is.
So she knows the difference between left and right. She knows her fingers.
Naila Wingfield says her daughter Jahai McMath responds to her verbal commands. Proof, she says, that the Oakland teenager is alive despite having been declared brain dead in December. In this clip, Wingfield asked Jahai to move her arm.
Come on, Jahai. Very good, Jahai.
And in this clip, Wingfield asked Jahai to move her foot.
Come on, girl. Very good.
Wingfield and other family members gathered at their attorney's office to present what they believe is evidence that Jahai is not brain dead. Here's a photo of Jahai about to get an MRI in the presence of experts retained by the family, and an image of what attorney Chris Dolan says is of the child's brain.
There's Jahai's MRI. This is unequivocal proof that Jahai McMath has not had her brain liquefied.
It's very sad. It's unfortunate that this family has not been put in a situation to really accept the reality.
Biomedical ethics professor David Magnus of Stanford has not seen the so-called evidence but doubts Jahai is alive. He says it is common for people declared brain dead to have random body movements.
If you videotape for long enough, you're going to have some random movements that correspond or coincide roughly with instructions.
Yet despite the critics, Jahai's mother presses on. She's going to court asking that Jahai's death certificate be reversed so she can bring Jahai back home and get possible medical care in California. Jahai's currently at an undisclosed location in New Jersey.
And I always let her know, as long as I'm living and I have a heartbeat, and as long as she has one, I will never, ever let anybody disconnect her.
The court date is scheduled for Thursday.
You really got to feel for Jahai's mother. I want to read a couple tweets. A lot of talk about this on Twitter. Mother Knows Best tweeted this: "Praise God that her parents fought for her." Sherry says, "Jahai McMath's family wants her declared alive again. I want my dogs to come back from the dead too." So there are cynics out there who say this girl has been dead and is still dead. Joining me now, criminal defense attorney Pate, attorney Keisha Clark, and Joey Jackson back as well. Paige, I want to start with you on this. And we were talking during the commercial break. It's fascinating to me that you were saying she's declared dead in California, and the reason why this young girl was moved to New Jersey is because she's considered alive in a different state.
That's exactly right. Both California and New Jersey have signed on to the uniform law, which is applicable in most states, which does say that if the person is brain dead, then they can be declared dead. But New Jersey and New York have a special exception. If the family has a religious belief that as long as the girl's heart is beating, she's alive, then they will not declare her dead.
And Keisha, should it not be up to the parents to decide if there's any iota of hope, and they now have video of that young girl's foot moving on command, they say, shouldn't it be up to the family to keep their daughter alive, even if it is on life support?
Absolutely. So long as she has her heart beating, and clearly on the video, she was moving upon command. It wasn't like an anonymous move. And if I was her mom, I'd be fighting for her life too. And definitely it is up to them. And they should stay in New Jersey as long as the law is what it is in California.
Yeah, the family saying they do find strength. It is difficult, as you would imagine, Joey. If the judge reverses this decision, which will be made, I believe, on the 9th. This is unprecedented, because a young girl who's declared brain dead, and then a judge rules that, no, she's now alive again?
It's a great point, Susan. And, you know, it's interesting. If you look at the video, clearly she's responsive to those commands. She's 13. The mother says there are two separate ones. Move your hand. Ultimately, she moves her hand. In the event she was brain dead, I'd be hard-pressed to know how she would do that. In the other one, Susan, it's move your leg, move your foot, move your foot. She ultimately does that. And so, yes, I do believe that it's about getting it right. And if there is brain activity, and if she is alive, then clearly she does not meet the standard of the law that Paige spoke to earlier, and I think the judge would be incumbent to reverse it at that time.
And Paige, since 1980, it's been up to medical professionals that death is the irreversible cessation of all brain activity. So this could change the way we look at death.
Well, it could, and it probably should, because doctors can disagree. Now, we've heard many times, well, this has never happened before. Someone who is declared brain dead has never come back. Well, how could they? Because most of the time, they're not going to be moved to another state. They're going to be put in a box and buried in the dirt. So this is a very unique situation, and it gives us the opportunity to reconsider what we believe life and death really mean.
And briefly on that issue, Paige, you said doctors can disagree. They did disagree. There were three doctors who initially said brain dead. And then, of course, there was the reversal of that where doctors said, hey, wait, she's not brain dead at all.
Yeah.
So,
and the hospital saying, this is over, we've already discussed
for liability
this. We
purpose,
made our ruling.
very selfishly.
Well,